this or even vibrates or anything like that. You hear it? I hear that. Alhamdulillah. Certainly, without a doubt, all praise, thanks, and gratitude belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nahmaduhu, for that reason we praise Him, we thank Him for everything He has granted us. وَنَسْتَعِينُهُ, and we ask for assistance. What are we asking for assistance? Things that are out of our control. We ask Him to help us out. ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئاتنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Allah says in His book, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, يا أيها الذين آمنوا, believers, اتقوا الله, develop taqwa of Allah, develop understanding, consciousness, awareness in a manner that you can see Him all the time, His presence all the time. حق تقاته, the way He deserves it. فلا تموتن, under no circumstance, don't you dare forget this, that you are departing this world, وأنتم مسلمون, that you are departing this world, that you don't remember having the taqwa of Allah. That's a tall order. It's not simple, but something that is a reminder every Jummah, every time we come here on a day of Friday. So I talked about the subject that I'm about to discuss today not too long ago. Maybe I said all of them, maybe I said part of it, but bear with me, hear me out. Let's see, the holy month, the beautiful month is about to come, right? About a month and a half or so away, the month of Ramadan. We gotta know who our enemy is, right? It's been detailed in the Quran. I'm gonna talk to you about 3 different creation of Allah today. 3 different creation. And each creation had some thoughts and ideas and a question. Had a question and asked the question, or had the opportunity to ask the question, and how did they approach? The first one. The story goes in multiple places in the Quran when Allah said, specifically in Surah Al-Baqarah, the 2nd surah, when Allah said, I am going to create human being to place human being on earth. Right? So keep that in mind. The purpose of the creation was to come on earth. That's what Allah said. Among the audience who were there heard the speech of Allah, angels, archangels, all kind of angels, and there was one more species that was not an angel, was in the crowd and heard the entire speech. Right? Well, Adam is not in existence yet, but this creation, Iblis, the mastermind himself, was there. He heard the speech. Okay? The story goes on. And he did what he did, why he did what he did, and he rationalized his ideas, his thoughts. He rationalized why is he doing what he's doing. Angels heard the story, the speech, and they had a question, and they asked the question. They asked the question from Allah. Remember this, pay attention to this one. Angels are asking question from Allah. They're actually asking Allah something. You gotta know who is Allah, right? You and I gotta know who is Allah. Allah, the creator of everything. Yet angels felt comfortable to say, I'm gonna ask a question, Ya Allah. We don't understand the purpose of this creation. Right? So the scholar says this. The question they asked was out of curiosity, out of trying to understand, trying to get more out of what wasn't clear to them. Why is that? It wasn't out of arrogance. It wasn't out of to challenge God or anything like that at all. There are multiple layers of lessons in this for you and I. What is that? The first one, I'm going to highlight just 1 or 2. The lesson is this. The culture I came from, at least. I'm going to speak to what culture I came from. I don't want to insult anyone's culture or neither want to insult my culture. And the culture that I am, it is probably, being sarcastic, probably one of the major sins to ask that question from an elderly, specifically someone who stands on a podium, specifically someone who's a person of knowledge or scholar. It's absolutely forbidden to ask questions. Even if the question is for curiosity, the question is to learn something, no, you're not supposed to. Well, that's not what we are learning from the Quran. The angels asked the question, Allah said, we don't get this in life. From our understanding, anyone that was on earth, they caused corruption, they caused bloodshed. That's what we know, and they're trying to understand that. The first lesson, you're allowed, you're okay to ask questions. But how do you ask the questions? That's the point. It all had to do with attitude. All has to do with what is the intention behind the question. If the question is to question the speaker, then it is one of the worst things you can do. That means you're challenging them, you're being inappropriate, and you're being rude and all that. No, that is absolutely forbidden. But in order for you to actually get some more information, absolutely, why not? You have a different understanding, you want to check your understanding, or you want to challenge the understanding, or whatever that might be, why not? So keep that in mind. Angels asked questions and they got the responses. The second creation, the Iblis was among them. He had a question too. And he asked Allah a question too. He didn't even ask a question, he went beyond the limitation of saying, فَبِمَا أَغْوَيْتَنِي, I was deserving of this position, this status that you give to this thing that is laying down here, doesn't even have a life. Look at me and look at what I have done. All the things that I have done for you, God, why did you betray me? If these words were not in the Quran, I would have never ever been able to speak about it. فَبِمَا أَغْوَيْتَنِي is such a strong word, pointing finger at God saying, you are the problem, you deceived me. You knew well I was deserving of this thing, to be promoted. Why am I not promoted? Something else getting promoted to this position. I want to go earth. I want to be the Khalifa of earth. Why not? He pointed finger at Allah. He blamed Allah. And he didn't stop there. He took the challenge even further. He said, La aq'udanna. I'm specifically saying in this purpose. I'm emphasizing this because there are at least 3-4 levels of emphasis in the Quran. When you read Arabic, the translation doesn't do any justice whatsoever. La aq'udanna. For sure, without a doubt, I swear to you, to your majesty, O Allah, that I will be sitting where? صراطك المستقيم. La aqudanna lahum صراطك المستقيم. What do you and I say, I don't know, 17 to 32 times a day when we stand in front of Allah, which in a few minutes we're going to do it again, inshallah. We say, Ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim, right? Ya Allah, you're begging Allah, please guide us to the singular path, to the path that will going to bring salvation, to the path that's going to bring me success. Please guide me to that path. This dude, in front of Allah, he's taking an oath by Allah saying, I'm going to stand on that path. I will do every single thing in my power to prevent from this slave of you going towards that path. He's challenging God even more on that. Then he says even a whole lot worse things than that. In the Surah Al-A'raf, go check Surah Al-A'raf, read it. The third species had a question too. Had an opportunity for the question. That's Adam alayhi salam, right? When Adam said that you need to descend from this Jannah that you're enjoying life, go to earth. He could have said, check. The reason I'm saying it in this fallen way, pay attention to what we do. Everyone should point finger at themselves, not, oh, my cousin does this, or no, you. Adam could have said easily, Ya Allah, this was planned all along, wasn't it? For me to approach this tree or eat from this tree or not, it had nothing to do with this, because there was a plan already for me to go to earth. So this just as a matter of convenience. Why am I to be the problem? He could have said that. It wasn't my fault. Don't we say this all the time? Don't our children say this all the time? It wasn't my fault. He could have said that, but he didn't. He did not say that. Guess what he said? He waited for the words to come to be taught by Allah. He waited, and then he repeated those words. He said, رَبَّنَا ظَلَمْنَا أَنفُسَنَا وَإِن لَمْ تَغْفِرْ لَنَا وَتَرْحَمْنَا لَنَكُونَنَّ مِنَ الْخَاسِرِينَ. He could have showed the attitude. He had the rights to do so, but he didn't. He said, Ya Allah, I take the ownership of this. I wronged myself. We wronged ourselves. This was our fault. And here's what's going to help me. If you do not shower yourself with your mercy that you do, with perpetual mercy, the kind of mercy that you don't even ask if it's a Muslim or a non-Muslim, you just give him. If you don't shower me with that mercy, Ya Allah, and if you do not forgive and look at my shortcomings that we have done, that I have done, I will be certainly, without a doubt, be among the losers. Those were his words. 3 options, 3 different approaches. It's for you and I how to change our attitude, how to change our behavior, how to change our approach when we face a challenge, when we face a difficulty, when we face something that is as part of our routine life. The choices are clear. Are we, as human being, going to have this satanic behavior? We're going to have some lessons from the Adam alayhi salam or some lessons from the angels. Keep those in mind. And inshallah, in the next setting, we can talk about actually Surah Al-A'raf, the challenges of what the challenges Iblis himself presented and why he acted the way he acted and what did he actually say. There's one part of the Quran that no one talks about. I've been to numerous settings about this particular incident. Why did Adam alayhi salam approach the tree, and why Satan was so eager to make him and Hawa, his wife, to approach the tree? There's a clear word in the Quran that no one covers. I don't know why. I'm going to leave it as a mystery to you. See Surah Al-A'raf, the beginning, ayah number 11 and onward, you'll see it. It's absolutely mind-boggling. Inshallah, we can talk about that. Not this setting. Not enough time. أقول قولي أستغفر الله لي ولكم إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. إن الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Allah says in the Quran, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا. ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا. ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. آمين. As we conclude is the ayat of Quran that you hear often at the conclusion of every khutbah. It's customary, it's another reminder, it's another secret, and it's another recipe for success. And Allah says the following: إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. Really quickly, Allah is telling you 3 things to become successful, do it, and 3 things avoid to become even more successful. What are those things? يأمر بالعدل. You know what that adl is. Just with everything that you do, with all your contacts. والإحسان, and then elevate your status, what you do over and over again, become better at what you do. Whatever you do, become better. And if you ask the question, okay, where do I start? And Allah is already giving you the answer to that one. Start with your own family. Start with your own kids. Start with your own family. Brother, sister, uncles, siblings, all that. Start with there. In order to make the adl work, وَيَنْهَى عَنِ الْفَحْشَاءِ, stay away from all sorts of shamelessness, all kinds of shamelessness. And stay away from the loopholes, and we do a lot of loopholes. We constantly ask questions. If we don't like a verdict, if we don't like a fatwa, we always seek another fatwa, just to confirm our own liking. Allah's clearly saying to you and I, stay away from that. And then oppression in all shapes and form that you can see from the self, from the outside, from the environment, or anything else. That's what Allah is recommending to you and I. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون وأقيموا الصلاة.